It's anybody's race tonight here at Talladega for OSR Xfinity action right here on the SRN. Hello, I'm Sean Fitz. Thank you so much for tuning in this Wednesday night as these drivers take part in final warm-ups here at Talladega. We've got a lot of action to get you up to date on, including an opportunity for a driver to walk away with some cash in their pocket tonight. And you don't have to win the race. You just have to be there at the end. Talladega is going to be chaos all night long. Make sure you grab your snack, your favorite drink, and get ready to root on your favorite drivers. OSR Xfinity action gets started here at Talladega in just a few moments. It's going to be a battle here tonight at Talladega as OSR Xfinity action gets ready to get kicked off here. Just a reminder, if you qualified into the race server drivers, please make sure you're getting into the race server as soon as you can so that we can get the racing action underway here tonight on the SRN. Again, hello everyone, I'm Sean Fitz. Thank you so much for tuning in to Wednesday night's OSR Xfinity action right here at this Talladega Super Speedway. If you have never watched any type of super speedway racing, you are in for a fantastic show here tonight. A lot of 2 and 3 wide. Most of the field is going to be tight against each other. That is going to be a lot of fun to watch, and we've got a long way to go. 57 laps for these drivers to get it done here tonight around this high-banked, fast-paced racetrack. And ultimately, though, to get to the end, you've got to keep the car in one piece, and that's one thing these drivers have been talking about. They were talking about the handling characteristics and what they need to do to make sure they stay relatively clean so they can bring home the victory here tonight at Talladega. Britt Van Meter showing on the, Michael Buckley showing on the pole right now. With a very quick lap time, followed by Nicholas Casey starting out in row 2. Steve Whitmore, Rick Rube, Steven Prozer, Wes Gilliland, Brandon Thomas, Patrick Schaefer, Britt Van Meter, and Taylor Locklear all rounding out the top 10 so far. And let's talk about something that the admins of Ohio Sim Racing have implemented this week. It is called the Dash for Cash. It's not going to work like the normal Dash for Cash does, but these drivers, give me just a moment here. We got some issues going on with the race server, waiting for things to kind of filter through here. But anyway, let's talk about the Dash for Cash series. That is going to be for the drivers of these drivers who finish in the top spot after four post qualifying spots are picked. So essentially what they did is everybody qualified where they qualified, and then the admins chose at random 4 positions that will be eligible for the Dash for Cash. Those drivers qualifying tonight is the 32 of Blake Ripley, the 14 of Rick Utting, the 2 of Nicholas Casey, and the 7 of Brandon Thomas. Those drivers will be eligible for the Dash for Cash here tonight. We'll be watching them momentarily. It looks like the admins are working on getting the race server fixed up here, so give us just a moment. And then once we hear back, we will be more than happy to take you to the racing action right here at Talladega in just a moment. And just like that, league admins are on top of it here tonight at OSR. We unfortunately had a bit of an issue with that race server setup. They're getting ready to relaunch that server now. They're getting it configured and getting everything taken care of so that we can make sure we get the show on the road here tonight. While we're waiting for that new session to pop up, this is a great opportunity to talk about 2 fantastic sponsors of Ohio Sim Racing and the Sim Racing News Network for the first half of this season. Both trucks, or not in both, but in all series, the trucks, Xfinity, and Cup division. And that's going to be the first of Gillen Body Shop and Wes Gillen and Co. Do great work over there, and not only have they done that, but Wes has stepped up and helped support a big part of OSR's actions over this last couple months. And thanks to Wes, able to bring you live broadcast of OSR races all week long right here on the Sim Racing News Network. You want to find out more information about Gillen Body Shop, head on over to Facebook and do a search for Gillen Body Shop. Also want to take this opportunity to thank Chris Hockley and Hawk Dizzle Design. If you have not seen Chris's work in both graphic photography and all the different things that he has available and he does, you are missing out. Need to head on over to Facebook, do a search for Hawk Dizzle Design, and check out all of his work from paint schemes for iRacing cars to hero cards, the photography work he does, and the prints he sells, all the way to designing his own wraps for real-life race cars. That's right, Chris has put together some wraps for sprint cars that look absolutely amazing. You want to check out his work, head on over to Facebook, do a search for Hawk Dizzle Design for more information. While we're waiting for this server to get kicked off, we also want to talk about Sunday night action right here on the SRN. We're going to continue Super Speedway racing as Cup Series decides to head on over to Talladega on Sunday night. That'll be a lot of fun to watch as well if you haven't already done so. Make sure you get followed, like, subscribe, do what you need to do to get connected to any social network platform that the Sim Racing News broadcasts on. And guess what? We do a lot of them. YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday night that a race is scheduled for OSR, we are live. So if you haven't already done so, make sure you get connected. We go back to quote unquote normal racing, aka Kansas, next week. And I do believe we will see the Truck Series back next week in action. And that has been some of the best racing all year here at OSR, so make sure you get connected. We're just waiting for that server to get kicked back off here, and then we'll be ready to go green flag racing at Dega. 57 laps of 3 wide, chaos ensued racing is going to kick off right here on the SRN in just a few moments, so make sure you grab your drink, get ready. We're going to get kicked off here in just a few moments. You're watching the Sim Racing News Network. As you can see right there, the race server's back online. We're just waiting for all the drivers to file in. Again, if you are a OSR Xfinity Series driver who made the field tonight, make sure you get into the new race server ASAP so we can get the show on the road. 57 laps of racing action getting ready to get kicked off right here on the Sim Racing News Network. Drivers getting grid up here once again at Talladega as they get ready to take on the high banks of Talladega Superspeedway. We already talked about the top 10, but again, let's go back and have a word, or let's talk about the Dash for Cash drivers. Earlier tonight, just after qualifying, the league admins decided to pick 4 random position numbers, and those drivers are going to be eligible for a $15 bonus. The highest finisher tonight out of those 4 positions will walk away with cash in their pocket. Tonight, Blake Ripley in the 32, Rick Utting in the 14, Nicholas Casey in the 2, and Blake Ripley, Rick Utting, Nicholas Casey, and Brandon Thomas. Those were the positions of those drivers at the time of qualifying. All are going to be eligible for the Dash for Cash tonight. $15 up to the highest finisher. As you see right there, Michael Buckley is going to get everybody rolling here tonight. Michael in his, I believe this is the first pole here with OSR, gets everybody going here, and it's going to be a long race. 57 laps for these drivers around this 2+ mile racetrack here in Talladega, just in the heart of Alabama on the iRacing service, and a lot of 2 wide, close, tight-knit racing is going to be happening here, and these drivers are going to have to be really smart, really careful, and really mindful of what they're doing with the cars, because it's any slight slip up, especially in this very action-packed, tight racing, could cause mayhem in an instant. If you've not heard of it before, iRacing and superspeedway racing in general is notorious for the big one. Usually 10+ cars involved, and drivers unfortunately be taken out of the event, and we don't want to see that here. Patience is going to be key for these drivers here tonight as they are reaching the halfway point down this long backstretch. To be there, to run towards the end on lap 57, to be there to fight for the victory, you've got to make it to lap 57, and that's on the minds of these drivers here tonight. Another thing to think about, too, is this racing is unlike anything else in the NASCAR circuit. Road racing requires a certain skill set. Intermediate tracks require a certain skill set. Superspeedway racing requires a specific skill set as well. Anybody can come up here. It doesn't matter the horsepower, doesn't matter the decals, the paint. It does not matter, because you can run 30th every week and somehow be at the front when the time counts. And with that, the pace car lights are off. He's going to dip down pit road, and we're going to get ready to kick this off. 57 laps of exciting racing. I keep saying that, but it is really going to be exciting. And oh, by the way, the start-finish line is not where you would think it is. It's not right here in the middle of the tri-oval. No. You've got to race your way all the way back towards the end of pit road. But Michael Buckley and Nicholas Casey on the front row are going to get a rolling, and the green flag is out for OSR Xfinity action here at Dega. Smooth start here, everybody, giving everybody quite a bit of room. You see Steve Whitmore, though, right to the bumper of Buckley to push that bottom line out. You see him right there. They've got 3 car links on the outside line. Outside line not very packed here. The bottom is actually the group that's held together the most. Everybody just kind of trying to figure out where things lie as Steve Whitmore is attached to the bumper of the 29 of Buckley down the backstretch for the first time here tonight. These drivers, as they fan out into turn 3 for the first time, getting up to speed. These cars are still not up to final speed. But these drivers were talking about the handling characteristics of these cars. Very loose, and these cars are hard to keep underneath you. We're going to see that tonight as they continue around this place. Lap 1 in the books. Buckley is going to be your leader there. Steve Whitmore firmly attached to the bumper. That bottom line formed up fairly nicely, nose to tail. The top 3 have been real close with each other. Everybody else has left some gaps, but here comes that outside line finally as Steve Whitmore bucks out. He's going to step out and take the apron. I don't know if that was intentional. Whitmore may have got a little loose there, but that's going to allow Brandon Thomas in the A car to really gain some run on the outside. And that's Buckley and Thomas side by side now. Both the outside and inside lanes have formed up all of a sudden. The 86 of Nicholas Casey pushing the 8 all the way up towards the front so far. Remember, Brandon is one of those Dash or Cash drivers, but so is the driver pushing him. As Brandon moves down to take the bottom line away and take the lead, Brandon Thomas, your leader as they go off into 1. Down the backstretch here as you see cars start to move to the inside a little bit and get out of line. They do not want any piece of this racing action. There's a long way to go in this event. No point in getting a little too crazy, getting caught up in some of the drama that'll take place here in the front pack. There's no reason to get involved this early. That outside line starting to come apart a little bit, but here comes Nicholas Casey on the outside. He's got the push from the 081 of Rube, and Casey's going to get clear. Nicholas Casey out front is your leader here on lap 4. He is also a Dash for Cash driver. That'll be something to keep a close eye on as this front pack looks really racy here in the early going, but still keeping being very mindful of everybody. At this point, these cars are firmly up to speed, and everyone now is just trying to figure out who's got what, how these cars are going to perform throughout the entire event. As Casey's going to lead them all the way back around here through the tri-oval. He's got to have the shortest way around the racetrack. However, the driver on the outside of Rube is going to have the fastest line. He'd keep the RPMs up, and he was going to be scored your leader coming to lap 5. Again, keep in mind, 2 Dash for Cash drivers right there on the bottom, and Brandon Thomas and Nicholas Casey. Casey is leading the race so far for JG Racing. Casey had a really good qualifying effort, and it is showing off here early as we take a look back through the backpack of the field. Everybody's kind of minding their business here. A little bit of 3 wide back there. That's Kyle Finlayson and Aaron Jackson. In the middle of that, they've got a car over top of them there. I believe that's Ripley. But keeping plenty of room there with Jackson in the middle. No point in pushing the issue here, everybody. Just minding their P's and Q's here. The top 12 or so have formed up fairly nicely with decent gaps here between each other. Again, trying to keep the cars underneath them. This is a long run tonight here, and you see that being done with the drivers in the top 12, all single filed out, not single file, but 2 by 2. 12 positions on back as they work their way to turn 4 on lap 6. Keep an eye on that outside line. You're going to see Rube there. Rube make a big run. He's going to have a little bit of help there as well from the 42 of Schaefer. Going to be even? No. Nicholas Casey scored your leader that lap. Brandon Thomas also running second right now. It is very early, but Brandon has been known to be a bit of a super speedway racer. He'll be a person to keep an eye on here as the night progresses. So currently right now tied or running second in that second row. In the meantime, though, that outside line is really kind of picking up some pace here. Schaefer's getting to the bumper of Rube pretty comfortably here in the 081. Schaefer had him pushed out nearly half a car length over Casey, but Casey was able to get a decent run back. That bottom line's tighter than the top, so those outside runs are really dependent on that second place driver, but Rube's going to lead that last lap by half a car length over Casey. He could have nearly cleared the leader and moved down, but so far they're making that outside line work for him here on lap 8. Halfway down the backstretch, and again, that outside line really's got a decent push. He was nearly going to be able to pull Schaefer down, but he couldn't. Schaefer stays high That's going to bring Rube down in front of Casey. We're going to have a new leader here coming across the stripe. That was actually probably a slip up by those two drivers. I believe they wanted to try to get Schaefer clear as well, but unfortunately he's going to fall back at least 4 or 5 spots back to the bumper of, I believe that, man, that may be Buckley back there. Steve Proser and others on that outside line. We'll see what Nicholas Casey does here, see if he decides to just kind of fall in line, or does him and Brandon Thomas decide to step out. As you see, we got a car down on the apron. Again, some of these drivers electing to just take their take the wave back. They want to get cycled back into the field. No point in getting overly aggressive early. The top 3, though, is single filed out. Not a bad run here, as you see Michael Buckley running in 4th. Alongside the 42 is Schaefer. And here comes Schaefer on the outside once again. Another driver that's moving up through the field. Here's Tomasevich. Making a run on the outside here, trying to get to the bumper of the 42 of Schaefer so they get this outside line rolling. Big run on the outside, though, as you see cars start to split towards the back of the field. Everybody tried to find a place to go. I think things are getting a little chaotic back there while they were trying to sort things out. In the meantime, though, this outside line not quite formed up. Let's ride on board with a driver here tonight in the early running of this thing who's up front. We talked about him a couple times. Brandon Thomas. Let's ride on board that 8 car. Riding on board with Brandon there. You see those drivers trying to keep the cars just above the yellow line. You do not want to get down on the apron here and get those cars out of shape. But so far, Rick Rube was able to get clear Nicholas Casey off the bumper of Schaefer on the high side. About 3 or 4 laps ago. Oh, big out of shape as Brandon Thomas keeps it off the wall. Brandon, unfortunately, just made the move to the high side. I don't think that was his intent. That's going to get the whole outside line checked up. Schaefer's in trouble. He's wiggling back and forth a little bit. They finally get it under control, but the 8 car went for a wild ride down the backstretch, and that set things off on the outside line. As you see there, both lines have started to lose a little bit of momentum here, but we're going to have a 3-wide battle for the lead. Nicholas Casey gets left in the dust here in the middle by himself. Brandon Thomas off the bumper of Proser. Got a huge bump. Brandon Thomas is now going to move to the bottom, is going to be your new leader. On the outside line of Proser. He's also trying to jockey for position here. It's all scattered out up front in the early going here. Nicholas Casey is still trying to hang on. Oh, we got several cars turned. Matt Beamish involved. Aaron Jackson involved. That was one of the wrecks we were expecting right there. You see Matt Beamish. He's got a tore-up race car. Let's also take a look here through the remainder of the field. I'm not quite sure who else may have been involved in that. I know at least Steve Proser, I believe, was involved. It also looks like the 29 car has damage as well. As we mentioned, Aaron Jackson's going to be missing a nose. Nicholas Casey, I believe, has some nose damage as well. Let's go back and take a look here and see if we can kind of find out exactly where this all materialized. It looks up there near Prozer. Let's see if we can get a better view of what may have happened there. I don't think that was quite it either. Let's take a look here, see if we can get something a little bit better than that. All right, let's stop that there. Let's rewind it just a smidge. Let's see if we can kind of sort out what potentially happened here. Oh, it looks like Nicholas Casey, Steven Prozer made contact, and that's Brandon Thomas. He's going to have some damage as well. So that is what materialized there. And we've got pretty much everybody down pit road minus... Let's take a look here. Patrick Schaefer decides to stay out. Barrett Tomasevich and Carl Phillips electing to stay out. Everybody else is coming down pit road and taking tires and service. At this point, no real big reason not to. It is a 2-tire limit for these drivers. However, track position is not as critical as it would be at, say, at a Kansas or a Richmond, where you'd have to really make some efforts to get caught back through the field and make your passes because everybody is so close to one another, and that's what makes super speedway racing really exciting. We're going to go ahead and step away here for just a moment. We are under caution for the first time on lap 15. You're watching OSR Xfinity action right here on the Sim Racing News Network. The pace car lights are off. That's a signal to the drivers that we're going to make green flag racing here when they come back by the start-finish line to take lap 17 here tonight at Talladega. We've got a new running order in the top 10 right now. That's Schaefer, Tomasevich, Carl Phillips, Rick Utting, Brandon Burkhart, John Sears, Jason Dill. Oh, sorry, Jason the Real Deal. Jeff Oliver, John Chappell, and Kyle Phillipson rounding out the top 10. I can't say enough about a strong showing here out of those JG drivers. You got John Sears up front. You did have Nicholas Casey up there as well. We may see a first-time race winner in the Xfinity Series here tonight. Still a long way to go. Some 40 laps here tonight at Talladega. These lap times are about 50 seconds a lap or so. It takes a while to work all the way around this racetrack. We hope you are settled in as the pace car ducks back down pit road once again. The whole field here stacked up side by side. Patrick Schaefer's going to be the control car. The 0-1 of Tomasovic. It's going to be right there with him, and the green flag is out. We're back underway here at Dega. Patrick Schaefer, even though he had a decent start there, that inside line just did not get rolling at all. Left a huge gap there. That's actually going to leave him susceptible to the outside, and here comes Tomasovic. Tomasovic on the outside now. He's going to have a big push here from that's Ricky Utting. Utting, one of those Dash for Cash drivers, and up front. They're both going to get clear of that inside line. We're going to have a new leader right here of Bear Tomasovic. And it looks like Utting did not get clear of them all, and the caution's going to be out once again. It's like several drivers going to be involved in this towards the rear of the field. Wes Gillen in the 50 car looks to be involved. Aaron Jackson, Steve Whitmore, a couple others. Let's take a look here. Let's actually go back. Here we go. I'm not quite sure how to call that. Looks like the 59 just had a huge run up through the field here, and just a couple others did not expect it. And unfortunately probably took out a couple really decent drivers. But unfortunately, caution's going to be out here for the second time here at Talladega. Rick Utting is going to be your leader right now. Again, one of those Dash for Cash drivers up front. Barrett Tomasovic is going to be running second. John Sears was able to get up to third before that caution came out. Patrick Schaefer and Jeff Oliver rounding out the top five. And as I say that, Oliver's going to come down pit road, and Kyle Finless is going to inherit that spot. A couple drivers electing to come down pit road here for service. That's, I believe that's James Edmonston and Thomas Hardwick. So it looks like Thomas may have been the one who got rolling through the field pretty hard there. Let's see if we can rewind this back a little bit and maybe find out what potentially happened with that driver as he had that big moment coming down the backstretch. Yeah, it looks like he's just got a big run, trying to put it somewhere here. And Blake Ripley was there. He was just trying to thread the needle and unfortunately did not get it done. And took out some more cars that were just already damaged, but unfortunately just kind of compounded the issue here as road caution for the second time on lap 19. While we're sitting under caution here, let's take a moment to talk to that third place driver, John Sears. John, you got Sean in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Sean.
Hey, bud. So listen, running third right now. A little bit of a sportiness attitude on the track right now with your fellow drivers. Talk to us about how the car feels and what's your game plan from here.
Yeah, it's feeling pretty good. Just looking for a couple of the other teammates, Nick and Greg and Ray, to try to come up here with me and see what we can do.
John, we talked earlier, and you mentioned that this was what could be a standout night for JG Racing, and Nicholas Casey qualifying towards the front. Do you feel like that, even though we've seen a couple incidences so far, that's still a possibility tonight?
Yeah, we got a couple fast cars here, so a lot of these guys think they can get up here with me, so we'll see what happens, and good luck to everyone.
John Sears running third right now here at Talladega. We're going to go ahead and step away for just one more moment before we go back. Green Flag Racing, you're watching the Sim Racing News Network. Rick Utting, Barrett Tomasevich, both on the front row. John Sears, Patrick Schaefer, Kyle Finlayson rounding out the top five, getting ready to go back. Green Flag Racing here on lap 21 as we slowly work our way towards the halfway point here tonight at Talladega for Ohio Sim Racing Xfinity action right here on the Sim Racing News Network. So far, we've seen a lot of back and forth. It's a fast-paced action up front. We'll see what else these drivers can do. Ricky Utting's going to be the control car here. Everybody's going to give each other plenty of space, and there they go. The green flag's back out, and they're back underway here on lap 21. Utting with a relatively clean start. That allowed everybody to kind of spread out a little bit, but that won't last for long. The runs here at Talladega are notorious, and by runs I mean the draft you get off the car in front of you allows you to really get caught up early, as you see Schaefer now ducking behind the 15 of Finlayson, trying to get on the bottom line there. That's a good place to be here, as that outside lane only got about 2 cars in it. We see another driver, though, popping up to the outside. It looks like the 23 car of Carl Phillips on the outside. Try to get behind Tomasevich and see if they can give him a push. But Rick Utting right now all by himself out front, 2 car lengths. That's going to allow that outside lane to come in a little bit. Here comes Barrett on the outside. Two by two all the way back to about 12th or so. As you know, we talked about how it was kind of loose a little bit. You know, the gaps between the cars on that restart were pretty large, and just like that, within a lap, they get tightened back up. And the lead pack here running nearly at full steam. It's 2 different packs now, it looks like, is this front group here. And then we take a look on back, and then there's a second group of cars. And it looks like that's being led by Jeff Oliver, I do believe. That is, and that's Aaron Jackson, Steve Whitmore, Jeff By, Michael Buckley, couple others back here hanging out. This is pack 2 at this point. The field has split up. In the meantime, though, 2 by 2 side by side down the front stretch and into turn 1 and 2 is Tomasovic and Rick Utting, John Sears, Carl Phillips, Kyle Finlayson still in the top 5 here. A lot of give and take is going to be needed for these drivers to be successful here tonight, as our leaders are going to start running into a little bit of lap traffic here. They're going to have to figure out a way to get around them. It looks like that's Ryan Pelfrey. He's going to stay on the bottom. Let the leaders choose where they want to run on the racetrack. They're going to be 3 wide for a little bit as they work their way around. Oh, big swing out there. I believe that was by Sears. He was able to save it, but went a little high. I think that lap car kind of threw him off a little bit. Ryan Pelfrey is actually going to blend in here with this group. But John Sears is going to lead the lap right there, even though he got out of sorts there. Tomasovic actually fell back, and John Sears was able to capitalize. Schaefer's now stuck on the high side. He's 3 wide right there with a couple other drivers coming out of turn 2. He's going to have to find a place to go. And now that bottom line starting to come back into fruition. And they're really scattered out now here up front. 2 and 3 wide. Kyle Finlayson out of nowhere on the outside of Utting. He's going to have some help with the lap car of Pelfrey. And then here comes the 11 of John Sears with a push on that outside line. Nicholas Casey's back up front after being involved in that incident. This whole front pack really scattered out there for a little bit, and then they've got it sorted back out. Everybody just trying to hang on as Sears leading the middle line pack here. The lap car of Ryan Pelfrey on the bottom. Kyle Finlayson leading that charge on the bottom with Pelfrey. Here comes Schaefer on the high side. 3 wide here for the first 15 spots as they work through 3 and 4. That's the 23 of Phillips. Tomasovic and John Sears stuck in the middle here, but they're hanging on. Everybody's being good so far. They're maintaining, and here is Brandon Thomas. He's back up in the top 10. That just shows you how you could go from nothing to something here very quick in this style of super speedway racing. Even though John Sears has a car on his left door, on his driver's side door there of Pelfrey. Pelfrey's a lap down. Really, he needs to worry about trying to get clear of Pelfrey, which it looks like he's going to. Coming down the backstretch, he does. Now it looks like Schaefer's actually going to be stuck on the high side, and he's not going to have a whole lot of help here. That middle line is actually coming into play a little bit. Here comes Tomasovic on the bottom. Schaefer's going to have a little bit of a push. Trying to find out who that is. That's the 83 car, Burkhart. But they're going to lead Tomasovic by himself. Here comes Schaefer on the outside. They're 3 wide again. Tomasovic in the middle. In the meantime, on the bottom, John Sears continues to lead. We talked to him during the caution. He thought he had a fast piece, and JG Racing may have something for it tonight. And you see it right there. Him leading on the bottom here with Ryan Pelfrey attached to the bumper. That bottom line. And Pelfrey's actually going to bring Finlayson to the high side. That's going to allow the bottom to really get a run behind Sears. Are they going to be able to hold on to it? They do, and you see the real Jason Deal moving up on the bottom. He's currently up to 3rd. Pelfrey, again, the lap down car, up there throwing blocks, left, right, and center, trying to hang on. He wants to stay up front so he could be the recipient of the lucky dog. Doesn't want to get too far back. In the meantime, though, he's racing with the race leaders. John Sears on the bottom side by side as they roll into 1. Sears has got a great partner in Jason Dill there on the bottom. If he could just get into a rhythm, those 2 drivers could get connected and walk away a little bit here. In the meantime, Pelfrey is pulling Finlayson and Phillips on the bottom. Or I'm sorry, on the high side. Again, Pelfrey is a lap down in that 33 machine, but he's showing that he's got the pace to run with the big dogs up front here. All he needs is a caution. He'll be right back in this event. And just like that, we're past halfway here tonight at Talladega for Ohio Sim Racing Xfinity action right here at the Super Speedway of Talladega on the iRacing service. You're watching the Sim Racing News Network. I'm Sean Fitz. We appreciate you tuning in. And just like that, we're back to 3 wide racing for a second, third on back. Again, Jason Deal attached to the bumper here, John Sears, who has got to the bottom and is rolling that bottom really smooth. The 11 car, after having a couple mishaps. Oh, just like that, Jason Deal takes the high side. He's going to get by John Sears. They're going to have a lap car. They're going to have to address on the front stretch as well. Jason Deal is looking for some help. He had it for Pelfrey, but Pelfrey had to go high as well. Oh, big wreck in turn 3. That's going to collect the 01, the 10. It looks like the 43 of Ricky Udding. Nicholas Casey's also going to have some more nose damage there. And caution is going to be out for the 3rd time tonight here at Talladega. I'm not quite sure where that may have begun. Oh, that was a movement under caution here. Let's see if we can find it here with Tomasevic. Yes, I think we're going to be able to see what happened here. Let's go back and replay this a little bit. It happened on this high side. And already they're sideways. Let's go back just a little bit further. This may have happened up here next to Pelfrey. All right, let's take a look. No, it looks like that may have been with Schaefer, I believe is who that was up there. Pelfrey was actually able to skate clear of it. Give me just a moment here. I want to see if we are able to isolate this a little bit better for everybody at home. Unfortunately, it's not as easy as it looks. Okay, and it looks like, there we go. All right. It looks like that started in the middle. I'm not quite sure who that was that got connected. Unfortunately, iRacing didn't provide the rec data for everybody there just because of so much was going on. But unfortunately, it looks like we're going to see several cars, unfortunately, involved in that incident. It looks like Patrick Schaefer is probably going to be one of them. It is. He's got some severe nose damage there. The 27 of Britt Van Meter. It looks like he's involved. Barrett Tomasevic. He is missing a good portion of that car. Rick Udding, who unfortunately is not going to be taking home the Dash for Cash winnings here tonight, involved. It also looks like the 83 of Brandon Burkhardt involved as well. Several cars out here as we have reached past the halfway point here tonight at Talladega. Jason Deal considered or scored your leader right now with Jason Bridges, Rick Rube, Taylor Locklear, Gregory Valade, another member of the JG Racing Group in the top 5 right now. And we're under caution for the 3rd time here on lap 31 of 57. We're going to take this moment, step away, catch our breath, and get ready to go again. You're watching the Sim Racing News Network. We take a look here across the field, and there's I don't know if you can pick out 10 cars that don't have damage on them, but I tell you what, I believe one of them may be our leader, and Jason Deal in that 08 car. So far, that machine looks free and clear. You know what? I say that, and then look at the rear spoiler on that thing. He has been hit hard in the rear. That may affect the way that thing drafts. Jason, we'll have to see how it goes. In the meantime, though, we're getting ready to go back green flag racing here with Dill up front. Bridges running second. Rick Rube, rather. Taylor Locklear, Gregory Verlaine, all in the top 5. Pace car is going to duck back down pit road. Going to have just about 24 laps remaining here tonight. Anybody in this top 20 can bring home a victory here. Let's see how it shakes out. Jason Deal in the 08 machine gets him rolling. Green flag. Jason with a strong start. He's going to bring Rube with him here on the bottom. Bridges and Locklear, though. Whoa, big swing out there by the 08 car. I'm not quite sure what happened there. That's going to get that outside lane checked up. That's also going to bring Langford, I believe. The Langford on the high side. He's going to try and mix it up here. In the meantime, Bridges in the middle is getting a big push. He's going to get clear of Jason Deal. Jason, just like that, falls back down to third after losing a little bit of momentum. Bridges on the bottom, Langford on the middle here. Jason Deal, Kyle Finlayson running in the top 4. Everybody just kind of minding their P's and Q's a little bit here, 2 by 2 as they roll into turn 1. 24 laps to go. A couple names worth mentioning right now. Running 8th, John Chappell. Running 7th, Ray Ferreira. Couple others, John Sears running 10th. All those drivers well worth talking about because they're in prime spot here to settle in. You also see the rear end of the 97 car. That car is not mistakable. That's Jeff Blythe Jr. He's been riding around in the back all night. What can he turn into a finish here? Up front, our leaders are side by side. That's Langford and Bridges. Kyle Finlayson with a big push to Langford out front. Finlayson's got some damage on that 15, but he doesn't care. He's going to be there. And he's been up front for a while here. We were talking earlier, right before the caution came out, how there was 2 different packs. Jeff Oliver was leading that second pack, and now look at him. He's in the fighting for a top 5 spot as the lap car decides to take the apron. Very respectable of the lap car to do there. Langford riding around the middle of the racetrack here. Kyle Phillips is just trying to get strapped to the bumper. He's like, hey, bro, listen, get to the bottom down here. Let's ride a little bit. In the meantime, trying to sort this out here. I believe that's Bridges running 4th. It is. Jason Deal's on his way back up front. He got cycled out on that restart as all of a sudden we got some 3-wide racing back up front. But Jason Deal's now running 3rd in line behind Kyle Finlayson. About 5th on back. It is chaos of 3 wide as these drivers try to find a place to make some gain. Jason Deal's going to take it to the high side outside of Kyle Finlayson. That's going to give the opportunity for the high side to come back, and all of a sudden here comes the 8 car, Brandon Thomas and John Sears. Out of nowhere, Brandon Thomas moving back up front. He's strapped to the bumper of Jason Deal. That puts Kyle Finlayson out front of Deal now. Finlayson leaves the bottom where he's been all night. That's going to leave Brandon Thomas trying to hang on. In the meantime, Langford's going to lose the momentum as the high side's got the push. And Brandon Thomas is wearing out the rear bumper of Jason the Real Deal. Side by side down the backstretch. Finlayson, Deal, Thomas, Langford. That's just the 4 spots there of the first 2 rows. Oh, and it looks like Jason Deal's going to get clear of Finlayson on the bottom. He's going to leave Porkchop up high. Jason Deal with a power move in the 08. He's going to take the air off the nose of Kyle Finlayson. And Jason Deal is going to lead that lap around. But here comes Brandon Thomas, John Sears on the high side. Thomas has already led some laps tonight, and again, one of those Dash for Cash drivers. That's worth mentioning here because he can walk away with some money if he's the highest finishing driver here. John Sears is strapped to the bumper of the 8-car, and woo, it gets a little sporty there up front as you see that 8-car wiggle back and forth as it gets unloaded out of the turn. 20 to go here at Dega, and the top 20 here side by side with one another. Just like that, John Sears has got him now going to move down behind Kyle Finlayson, and that's going to leave a big gap on the bottom, and unfortunately Brandon Thomas just going to squeak down there. And with that, that's going to pour the top 4 single file here. Jason Deal's leading him on the bottom, but John Sears is itching to take it out. He fakes Finlayson. Finlayson gets stuck on the high side, but that's going to pull the 8-car. Big run by Finlayson here on the outside. Brandon Thomas is there with the push. Doesn't look like they're going to have the momentum going into the turn, and Brandon Thomas is fighting a loose race car in that 8 machine. In the meantime, John Sears is now back up to the bumper here. Jason Deal. Trying to hang on here to the bottom. Jason Deal's going to get squeaked out by Finlayson for the lead that last lap by. Finlayson, been up front all night, has avoided all the incidences. He's got a little bit of help from the 8-car, but here comes Brandon Thomas. He was thinking about taking the high on Finlayson, decided better of it. Tucks back in behind the Finlayson green machine. The meantime, the 08 of Jason Deal, who has not had a whole lot of real-life race car luck this week, talked about burning his Cavalier to the ground after having issues at the track. Having a good night so far in that 08 Camaro out front tonight here at Dega. And as I say that, Finlayson gets a huge shove by the 8-car. Nearly gets clear of Jason Deal. They're side by side. That is going to be a photo finish for that lap. 17 to go. Outside lane is going to lose momentum here. Unfortunately, Thomas cannot hang on to the bumper of Finlayson. They're going to lose a little bit of draft in the meantime. Jason Deal has got John Sears locked in on the bottom. Here comes Rick Rube as well. Oh, and by the way, we talked about him a little while ago. He was up here racing with the leaders a lap down. How about Ryan Pelfrey running 6th? The outside line, and there's Sean Sears. He gets out from behind Jason Deal. Kyle Finlayson's going to give him a shove to the front. Oh, and it looks like Sears is going to burn Finlayson. Used it for just the push. He's going to move across the nose now in front of from Jason Deal. Kyle Finlayson on the high side. He's got the 8 and the 33 of Pelfrey with him, though. What can happen here on the high side? Another driver that we talked about a little while ago, but he was running in the back. Jeff By Jr. is up to 8th. Jason Deal trying to hang on to that high side. He's got Kyle Finlayson glued to the bumper here. Jason will probably try to get Kyle clear. As I see that, he's not going to do it. Kyle Finlayson gets used up again, and it's going to be 3 wide for second. Kyle Finlayson stuck in the bottom, or stuck in the middle, 3 wide. Brandon Thomas on the outside is not going to have any help here. He's going to fall back. We'll see if Pelfrey picks him up. Kyle Finlayson's losing spots. It looks like John Sears is going to duck out from behind, deal again. Sears is full aggression here tonight. Sears out front of Deal. Kyle Finlayson getting the momentum again on the outside. A little bit of side drafting happening here. Here comes Bridges on the outside as well. Brandon Thomas is back there just a little bit. As I mentioned, Jeff Bly Jr. is right there as well. Wes Gillen, a couple others starting to move up. How about, I just actually spotted him. It looks like Chris Hockley in the 1 car. Out of nowhere flirting with the top 10. I'm sorry, the 3 car. Out of nowhere flirting with the top 10. John Sears, Jason Dill out front right now. Jason's going to take the high side. He's going to try and pick up Finlayson once again. This is going to allow the high side to get a big run here. We'll see if they're able to... Oh, Kyle Finlayson actually has to step out. Maybe too much of a run. That's going to leave Jason Dill in the middle by himself. Who's going to pick him up? It looks like Bridges may do so. But they're going to be 3 wide. 2 rows deep back here behind the leader of Sears. Now 3 wide for the lead. Jason Dill in the middle. Everybody's got help here. Who's going to be able to hold a steady wheel? Be able to get out front, get to the bottom. Kyle Finlayson on the high side. He's got the help of the 23. I'm sorry, that's a 26, I believe. That is Oliver. And in the middle, Jason Dill, he's got Bridges with him. You see Rube there on the bottom. So many cars jostling right here for this top 5 spot. 3 by 3. 4 rows deep, 3 rows deep here. John Sears has been a man on a mission here with JG Racing. We talked to him a little while ago. He was running 3rd. Felt like he had a strong piece. He has stayed relatively out of trouble. That car looks relatively clean as well. Oh, and Kyle Finlayson gets turned. That's going to collect Bridges and a couple other drivers. And the caution's going to be out here once again. Bridges with some nose damage on that car. Unfortunately, that's going to end his run at a top 10. Let's go back and take a look here. We'll just do the rewind because that'll be easier. Let's see what happened here. And it looks like, yep, Kyle Finlayson got turned. That may have also collected John Chappell. I believe I've seen him involved there as well. And unfortunately, the caution... Oh, it actually looks like that 59 may have gotten a piece of this as well. Let's take a look. No, I'm not quite sure what happened with the 59 there. That did not involve him. But nonetheless, caution's out once again here. 11 to go. We're the 4th caution of the night. John Sears is scored your leader. Jason Deal. Rick Rube rounding out the top 3. We're going to step away for just a moment, and then we'll try to get in touch with another driver under caution. You're watching the Sim Racing News Network. Under caution here for the fourth time. With they're going to go that green flag racing with about 8 laps to go. You're going to notice a name of a driver missing in the top 10. It's Jason Deal. And it looks like he's got some rear end damage on the back of that 08 car. Let's see if we can get him in the car. Jason is Sean to the booth. Got a copy?
I got you.
Hey, Jason. So you were running in the top 5 there. Things were looking great and coming down pit road. What was the reason for that call?
I only had about maybe 7 laps left on fuel. I thought I could make it. I miscalculated a little bit. So pulling out of the pits too, I got a unsafe exit of pit road. So yeah, kind of shot myself in the foot there. So I'm gonna have to strategize a little bit, just try to stay out of the way. Hopefully there will be another caution or 2 here right before the end of this, and I can make it up. But we're going to do our best. There's a lot of damaged cars back here. We got pretty fast cars, so hopefully be able to get back up to the front there.
You heard that. Jason Deal. I'm going to have to overcome some adversity here off of pit road in the later laps. We appreciate him coming on the broadcast. In the meantime, John Sears is out front right now. And they're going to get the 1 to go sign, I believe, from the pace car here. There they are. John Sears, Rick Rube, Kyle Finlayson, Jeff Bly Jr., Brandon Thomas, rounding out the top 5. Ryan Pelfrey, Jeff Oliver, John Chappell, Chris Hockley, a name we've not mentioned all but once tonight. And Michael Buckley all rounding out in the top 10. Again, going to come back green flag racing here with 8 laps to go at Talladega for Ohio Sim Racing's Xfinity Series action at Talladega Super Speedway. Again, Super Speedway action continues tomorrow night. No, I'm sorry, not tomorrow night, Sunday night, right here on the Sim Racing News Network, where the drivers of OSR get ready to take on, or the Cup Series drivers of OSR get ready to take on the high banks here at Talladega. That actually get kicked off around 9:10 Eastern, 8:10 Central, right here on the Sim Racing News Network on your favorite streaming platform, Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube. Make sure you get connected and join in on the fun. Speaking of, I'm looking at Facebook chat right now. Facebook, that's right, I'm talking to you. Who is going to be the winner tonight here at Talladega? Who is your pick? Make sure you put them in the chat. We want to hear it. We want to see who's able to pick the winner here tonight. Keep in mind, we do have Dash for Cash drivers still at play. The two are, it looks like Brandon Thomas may be the only driver here that's Dash for Cash eligible at the moment. That'd be the case. And currently, if the race were to end right now, Brandon Thomas will take home those winnings. Pace car lights are off. It's going to duck down pit road. John Sears, Kyle Finlayson, Rick Rube, Brandon Thomas. They're going to get rolling here. And the green flag is back out. 8 laps to go at Talladega. John Sears out with a 3-car gap. That's not what you want to see here. Kyle Finlayson's going to have a little bit of a draft, a little bit of a run, but he's not really going to have anywhere to take it as that outside lane starting to pick up, and here comes Jeff Bly Jr. in the 081. They're going to come high on the high side here. A lot of slicing and dicing. That was Chris Hockley and the 3-car on the bottom. He's working his way up to 8th right now. Jeff Bly trying to get a little bit of a run on the high side, but unfortunately nothing's happening here. He's going to have to just settle in. John Sears is in control of this bottom line. Kyle Finlayson just kind of waiting in the wings here. If you're in Super Speedway Racing fan, you know that the lead is not necessarily where you want to be come the last lap. And right now, Rick Rube, Jeff Bly Jr., Jeff Oliver was getting that outside line rolling pretty well here. They've got it together. Can they get clear of John Sears? It looks like Rick is going to try. Oh, big turn up front. Unfortunately, that's going to collect a lot of cars. That's John Sears, Jeff Oliver, and many others unfortunately involved in that wreck. And the caution's going to be out. Let's go back and see if we can find out what happened here. I believe this may have started that. Oh, it looks like it started off the bumper maybe of Jeff By. See if we can get one more look at it here from Jeff's view. Yeah, unfortunately, Rick Rubin, Jeff just didn't match up very well there, and that sent a bunch of cars to the infield. And Jeff Oliver was having a really good night. Unfortunately, that's going to come to an end. He's missing the majority of the front of that car. A lot of fast race cars, unfortunately, taken out with that caution. That's going to put Jeff By in the lead. Kyle Finlayson's going to be running second. Ryan Pelfrey is back up to third, or he's up to third after running again as a lap down car. And all of a sudden, now he's running in third. Chris Hockley is running fourth. And John Chappell making up the top five. As Jeff gets caught up here with the pace car, unfortunately, I don't think that was what he intended to happen there. Unfortunately, Rick just looks like they got mismatched across the bumpers, and that's probably a super speedway racing incident there. Jeff in the 97 typically is relatively clean cut. Has no interest in going out here and making anybody's life difficult. And he's going to be our leader here with 5 laps to go. We're going to go back green flag racing with about 3 to go. Not an official green-white checkered attempt. Keep in mind, with OSR Xfinity action, there'll be 2 attempts at a green-white checkered finish here tonight at Talladega. Do everything we can to get this finished under green flag condition. If we have to take it to overtime, we will. Fuel shouldn't be an issue for these drivers. Everybody was down pit road on lap 30 with everybody here up front, so fuel should not be a problem for anybody. Let's take a look at the race cars here on track. You see Kyle Finlayson, he's got a little bit of spoiler damage, but the nose of that car looks okay. Jeff By Jr. has got a little bit of left front nose damage. That's probably due to the incident that just occurred. Ryan Pelfrey's car looks relatively okay in the front. Got some spoiler damage going on in the rear. Chris Hockley looks okay, but has got some spoiler damage as well. There's probably not a race car on track left that is quote-unquote clean. You know, we were talking about somebody needing a break, and we talked to Jason Deal just a little while ago. He needed another caution to kind of get things sorted back out here, and he needed for it to come quick. Well, guess what? Jason Deal got his wish. He got the caution. I believe that's going to put him back on a lead lap. He's currently running 12th. And the driver of that OA Bass Pro Shop, Camaro, that front end looks really good, Jason. Let's see what he's able to do here in the closing laps. Again, a lot of drivers here with a beat-up race car still in this thing. Aaron Jackson right there in front of him running 11th. Aaron was involved in at least 2 incidences here tonight. You see Taylor Locklear's got some nose damage on the front of that car. Wes Gilland is running 9th in the Gilland Body Shop. Machine 50 there, and he's going to need the services of Gilland Body Shop after this race is over with, how beat up that car is. Another driver that we've not talked a whole lot about tonight, Gregory Valade, Mr. Lemon Lime himself of JG Racing. That car, not looking too terrible. It's got some right rear damage, but overall, the front of that thing looks like it's pointed in the right direction. We could see an effort by JG Racing to get a top 5 here at the end of this thing. Still, Langford is right there with him as well. I believe that car's got some nose damage, though. I tell you what, kudos to John Chappell. He's out there running right now. currently in 7th, and I don't know if he's going to be able to maintain the pace, but the 35 machine missing the hood on that car. I don't know if that's going to allow a little bit better airflow, so you can run, so you can put tape up that nose. I don't know if taping the nose matters at this point, but nonetheless, John Chappell running 7th here right now with no hood. And then we go up front to arguably what I would say is 2 drivers who are, I don't know, top 8 fastest in the league right now, Jeff Bye Jr. and Kyle Finlayson, making up spots 1 and 2 on the front row. They're going to take the green flag here with 3 laps to go. They're going to have a very quick Ryan Pelfrey behind them, and Chris Hockley, who has very quietly worked his way up to the top 5. We'll see what can get done here in the closing laps of this Super Speedway Talladega race right here on the Sim Racing News Network. So I asked her in the chat who was going to win this thing. I see a couple votes for Ryan Pelfrey. I also see a Jeff Bye Jr., but that's by Jeff Bye Jr. I don't think we can count that, Jeff. A lot of, we've got a Still Langford there as well. That's the beauty of super speedway racing. It could go to anybody here in these closing laps. Pace car is going to get ready to duck down pit road. Bye. Finlayson on the front row. Who's going to bring home the victory? We're about to find out. Jeff Bye Jr. gets him rolling. 3 laps to go here at Dega. Smooth restart. Ryan Pelfrey, though, is able to get underneath Kyle Finlayson. He's got a big run back behind Jeff Bye. He was not able to step out, didn't think he could take it anywhere. Finlayson sucks it behind him and then gets the door shut on him by Hockley. Finlayson all by himself on the outside row, but it won't be for long. Here comes the rest of the field. Jeff Bye Jr. leading his first laps of the night here at Talladega. Ryan Pelfrey glued to the bumper for him, and all of a sudden, here comes Gregory Valade on the outside. Kyle Finlayson's able to hang on with the help of Valade as they're rolling that outside lane. They're rolling through the tri-oval. 2 laps to go at Dega. Jeff Bye Jr. in control on the bottom. Ryan Pelfrey glued to the bumper. Here comes Kyle Finlayson with the help of Valade. Here comes Steve Whitmore, Jason Deal on the outside. Now is not the time to make the move. You've got to hang on. You got to get to the start-finish line. That bottom line started to come apart a little bit. Can the outside capitalize? Gregory Valade pushes Finlayson. Big wreck. Jason Deal. Jeff Bye, the 7 car involved. Steve Whitmore, Schaefer involved. Caution's out. We're going to go to overtime. And just like that, Jeff Bye Jr. goes from leading to missing the front end of his car just like that. Let's take a quick moment. Let's just go ahead and rewind from here. It's going to be the easiest to figure this out. There was so much activity during that event that iRacing's having trouble distinguishing what's happening. Remember, Jeff Bye Jr. was leading down the backstretch. And then things got squirrely here once Gregory Valade and co. Oh, it looks like Steve Whitmore may have got turned by Gilliland. That was an unfortunate accident there, and it looks like Gilliland may have gotten into Whitmore, who then may have had a little bit of a chain reaction there. But I tell you what, Kyle Finlayson, all of a sudden Gregory Valade in the top 2 right now. Strong runs by those 2 drivers to plow through the outside lane, just kind of keep their nose down and get clear of Jeff Bye before that incident happened. Wes Gillen's going to be scored third. Jason Deal, who needed that caution a few laps ago after having a couple mishaps on pit road. He looks like he missed another one. That car looks relatively clean, and so did Ryan Pelfrey. We've seen how fast he was on that restart. This will be our first attempt at a green-white checkered finish here tonight at Talladega. Overtime will be in play. We're going to take this opportunity to step away for just a second, catch our breath, and get ready to bring you the final closing laps right here on the Sim Racing News Network. Kyle Finlayson, your leader. We're under caution. Pace car lights are off. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing here. The first of two attempts at a green-white checkered finish at Talladega. And just a clarifying point, Jeff By Jr.'s dad. Jeff By is in chat right now, cheering on his son. Unfortunately, Jeff Jr. had a big moment there coming down the backstretch, and do believe he's still running, but actually, no. It looks like Jeff is parked it on pit road. Unfortunately, will not be getting the finish that it looked like he was going to be deserving there, as he had raced his way all the way from the rear of the field up pretty cleanly, stayed out of all the trouble. The closing laps here at Dega finally got a hold of him and claimed him as their victim. Claimed him as a victim here. One driver that's been able to run up front all night, though. Stay out of trouble. Kyle Finlayson. He's going to restart in the lead. Gregory Valade. My man Lemon Lime's going to be on the outside of row one. Wes Gillen, Jason Deal in the top four here. Jason, about 10 laps ago, had a big issue on pit road after running in the top five, leading some laps, and then got penalized and had to go back to the rear of the field. Needed another caution to fall his way. I didn't think he expected two of them to happen. We're going to see what happens here, though, as Kyle Finlayson gets him ready to go back. Green flag racing. We're officially in overtime. The green flag is out here at Talladega. Gregory Valade on the outside, not getting a great restart. Kyle Finlayson is rolling, but he's got a car length back to Wes Gillen. Ryan Pelfrey, though, with an aggressive shove to Gillen. Chris Hockley trying to get to the bumper of the 08, and here comes Valade. He falls back on the outside, unfortunately not able to hang on. Finlayson's trying to block the advance of Deal, but Deal's going to be coming with a head of steam. Down the back stretch. Jason Deal's got help from Hockley and Valade. Finlayson has got Gilliland and Gilliland and Pelfrey on the bottom. Everybody trying to hang on. Everybody's could potentially win this thing in his front pack. All they got to do is get to the start-finish line. Valade's out of shape. Hockley's going to take it to the high side. White flag is out, and they wreck at the start-finish line. That's going to clear out the majority of the field. Kyle Finlayson out front, no caution. John Chappell out front, no hood. Still Langford, Nicholas Casey all up there. Nicholas Casey looks like he may have gotten into a driver. No caution here as Casey's committed to John Chappell. Chappell with no hood. Kyle Finlayson on the high side trying to motor by a 3-1 for the lead. Here comes Aaron Jackson. He's going to score himself a top 5. Nicholas Casey out front. Doesn't look like anybody's going to have anything for him, and he's going to be a Dash for Cash winner. Nicholas Casey brings home the checker to Talladega. How about that? Nicholas Casey, Kyle Finlayson. John Chappell minus a hood. Aaron Jackson and Greg Valade going to round out the top 5 here at Talladega. That was a wild last couple laps, and that just shows you to not give up because finishes count there. Kudos to Aaron Jackson bringing home that top 5. That'll be good for him in points. But Nicholas Casey scored your winner here tonight at Talladega. We're going to take this moment to step away for just a second, and then we'll bring you some post-race coverage right after this. You're watching the Sim Racing News Network. As our winner continues his celebration there at the start-finish line, we'll head on over to second place, Kyle Finlayson. Kyle, I tell you what, for a driver who has managed to stay in the top 5 for most of the night tonight, that you've avoided most of the wrecks there. It was in heat for it there on the last lap. What happened there to go wrong there to not bring home the victory?
I needed to push. Didn't have it on the last lap. I don't know. It's kind of hard to hold anybody off by yourself.
Kyle, we've seen a lot of impatience at the front here tonight, but as I mentioned, you ran up there pretty much the entire race. How were you able to stay up there and avoid a lot of the chaos that was happening around you?
Luck. I have no idea how I missed 90% of this.
Well, you were able to do it and bring home a second place finish. Congratulations on that finish here at Talladega.
Thank you.
And with that, we'll head on over to our race winner, Nicholas Casey. Nicholas, congratulations on that victory. I tell you what, you looked really quick in the early going and fell back in the field just to come back at the right time here, leading the last lap. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, Fitzy, it was a lot of fun racing with these guys tonight. Ran some good laps up front. Got in some trouble. All I remember is going 3 wide, turning the car early in the race. Learned my lesson. We stayed back from then on out. A green white checkered came out, and it was just pedal to the metal. And yeah, awesome race. Got a shout out JG Racing, John, Greg. Got some new members, Ray, Mikey, my wife, everybody watching at home.
Yeah, Nick, and absolutely, we were talking to you guys earlier. How about JG Racing could have a strong finish, and that was off the tails of your qualifying efforts. But more than that, a Dash for Cash winner here tonight, and after bringing home this victory, that's got to be sweet to add to the trophy.
It'll definitely go in the iRacing bio, but there's no way I can accept the Dash for Cash. I'd like to donate it to yourself, Sean, or double it up for next week.
Yeah, no, that double or nothing sounds good to me. We'll have to talk to the league admins about that. But Nick, congratulations on the victory here at Talladega. We'll see you next time.
Absolutely, thank you.
And with that, we'll also head on over to John Chappell. John, I tell you what, we talked about it. You were running 7th when one of those last cautions came out, missing a hood on that 35 car. Was able to bring home 3rd place tonight. I bet you did not expect that about 20 laps ago.
Yeah, for sure. I was, I guess, caught up in one of the laps. I guess one of the cautions, probably the 3rd or 4th from the end, and one of the cars just like flew over my hood and took it with it. So I just did expect it to be able to keep up, and somehow it did. But I was still, a whole lot slower than those guys. It was all luck. The last 2 wrecks, I didn't touch anything. I just held it straight and got through there. But yeah, it was all luck being able to finish in the top 3.
John, we know these cars handle a little different than the Cup cars. Did you learn anything tonight that will translate into Sunday, or is it pretty much just going to be a just hope you stay out of trouble in the early going for the Cup race?
Yeah, it's just like the first race of the year. I'm just gonna go to the back and hope some of the Warrior guys will go with me and just ride up back in the back and see how we can make it to the end. I don't know if I learned anything today. I didn't really get up there and race a lot. I just tried to stay clean and get to the end.
John Chappell, he stayed so clean that he was missing car parts, but nonetheless brought home a 3rd tonight. Congratulations. And with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up post-race coverage here tonight on the SRN for Xfinity action here with OSR. On Sunday, Cup Series take on the Super Speedway here at Talladega. You're going to want to get tuned into that 9:10 Eastern, 8:10 Central right here on the Sim Racing News Network. On behalf of the league admins from Ohio Sim Racing, my name's Sean Fitz. Appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you Sunday night with more racing action. Bye-bye now.